All right, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and business owners. Who doesn't want to take the chaos of 2020 and turn it into a windfall cash opportunity in sales and marketing in 2021 and beyond?
Yes, few industries, if any, have gone untouched. And truly, there's a transition in every market. Consumers' buying habits and loyalties have been wildly disrupted. And if you're a marketer, this is a marketer's dream, right? For rebranding, upselling, taking market share. There is so much opportunity if you're looking at this from the right perspective.
So you got to put yourself in the consumer's seat, right? They're wondering what businesses are surviving and how are you and your business coming out of this craziness, right? And they need to know that you're better than ever, and we can show you why and help you with that message. But first, we want to go into a checklist to get an understanding of where you're at today.
So we're Buddy and Nikki Cummings. We are retired entrepreneurs, if that's even a thing, and business owners. We have built and sold multiple companies. We have withstood many crises and industry pivots, recessions in our market spaces throughout our business history and career. Yeah. And so we're just here to share what we've learned and help you guys get through it.
Okay, so we are going to take you through 7 questions, high-level questions, just to get you in the right mindset to understand your situation, right? So we're going to start with number 1, and that is, what is your game-changing secret sauce? Do you understand the message that separates you from the rest of the world in your industry that your consumers will say, I'm excited about trying that?
Next would be, do you know your ideal customer? What is their demographic? What are their buying habits? What do they like to do on their free time? And what do they do in business? What size is their company? Do you know all the minute details about who your ideal customer is?
Absolutely. And then, do you have a process for your sales cycle? Right? Do you understand how many calls it takes, how many brochures you have to send out, how many trade shows you have to attend to meet that client at networking events? So it just doesn't feel like a hit or miss based on emotion when you reach out and how you reach out to your customer.
And in that process, do you have a customer tracking software so that you can track all their contact information, capture all of your email communication, capture important details like their birthday, their anniversary, the names of their kids, and really track the life cycle of that relationship and that sales, set reminders for yourself, all the relevant details to manage that relationship effectively.
Oh, great point. Okay, and do you understand the lifetime value of your customer, right? Because how many of us wouldn't mind investing $20 on a sales process for a $400 client? If it's a restaurant, wouldn't you rather give a dessert to somebody to bring them into your restaurant so they stay and spend $400? Or if they spent $10,000, wouldn't you spend $100 in attracting them? So it's good to understand the value of your customer.
Yes, yes. And also to know the length of time for your average sale from beginning of lead generation or introduction to that client all the way through the life cycle of turning them from an ideal client to a raving fan. So if you know what that average cycle is, you can, number 1, set realistic expectations, but also you can fix what you can focus on. A good friend of ours always used to tell me. And so if you know what that cycle is, you can actually work to shorten it and improve your sales ratio even more.
Oh, it's good. And then kind of a subset to that 6.5 is that, do you know how many touches, right? Because that just gives us so much confidence in knowing that it actually takes us 15 touches to convert a client. So you don't go up to your first maybe meeting and say, oh, it was bad, they didn't buy. You know that this is a process, and it's like a marriage, right? You got to date first, you got to get to know the person, understand them. So it's how many touches so you can begin to plan that process out. So it's a good understanding to get your mindset into.
Yes, a good story for that example was we used to go to trade shows, right? That's a big part of how we engaged and worked with our clients. Our clients were based all over the world actually for that particular business, and so we would come together for these annual events. And it was a really important time. It was very expensive. We would exhibit there. And I had a lead come through from one of those trade shows that I worked for 2 years. And Buddy used to stop by my office and be like, oh, who are you talking to? I'm like, oh, so-and-so with such and such. He's like, oh, you're still working that lead, the never-ending, close and blah, blah, blah. And we finally converted it, but it took 2 years.
Okay. Okay, but I gotta preface that situation. We were spending about $100,000 per trade show, and my question was, are we converting? Is that money spent in the right place? Could we add somebody maybe on the telephones or right, and more personal business? So that was that, but it's a great process to go through, and you're right. Okay.
And it messed up my average. It took me a little longer on that one, but it paid for the whole trade show and the profit that we made. So it was worth it, but it's just good. You have to be tracking those details.
Yes, so the message I want you guys to walk away with is your sales and marketing needs to be a faucet in which you can turn on and turn off with predictability. Turn it up so you understand that sales isn't some haphazard, hopefully it rains, hopefully it doesn't. It's not emotional. It's a science that you guys need to understand that you can plan and predict. So as you have massive growth and goals in your organization, you have the ability with confidence to invest in the growth because you know you can turn it on.
That's right. And remember, sales is the math. It's a numbers game. It's all about quantity, right? And then the marketing is the art. It's the branding. It's the exciting, sexy stuff that you see on social media and whatnot. You need both. But remember, if you are focused on your sales right now in a time of crisis or wanting to take a time of uncertainty and leverage it into a huge opportunity, up that quantity game and your brand, your presence, and you'll be setting yourself above your competition.
And know this, what I'm talking to you today, what we're talking to you today is from a CEO's perspective. I am looking at how to gain market share. So I see massive transition in the market and I'm trying to figure out how to reposition your business so your audience sees like, man, these guys are here and they're dominating. Why don't I give them a try, right? But that's different from sales, which is immediate. And we'll get into that in another video of how you can convert or get on the phone and start selling today, connecting and listening and all of that. But this is how you can take the massive uncertainty and work it to your advantage so you come back the strongest person, the strongest kid on the block ready to knock anybody out. And this is only one area of opportunity of maximizing the world of uncertainty and chaos that we are in and experiencing. There's so many other opportunities that we can't wait to share.
Absolutely. We've got a 3-part video series that is free for you. You can click here to get access. And it covers more areas than just this, right? When you're entering uncertain times, sometimes it's a crisis. Sometimes it's a little chaotic. And so we're going to explore 7 areas in your business and personal life that if you dial in these areas, you will experience supernatural transformation in your business, in your industry, and in your life. So click below, join us, and you'll get the email and all the details. And we just love doing life with you. So we're here to serve, guys.
Let's go have some fun. Let's get stoked.